The problem with Twitter and the problem with X spaces in general was that it just wasn't primed for it. That's it. But like, he already did this with fucking Ron DeSantis and he bricked it, and then Donald Trump shit on him for it, which is why it's fucking hilarious that like he did not look back at it at all and be like, let's fix this so it never happens again. Let's do the Elon Musk shit. I want to see how the media covered the Elon Musk stuff, and then we'll get back to that.
Donald Trump returned to Twitter last night. It's now called X, for a long conversation with Elon Musk that was hampered by technical issues. Rachel Scott is tracking the race. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. This all got off to a very rocky start. That conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes because of those tech issues. Elon Musk said he wanted to have this conversation so that the former president could appeal to independent voters, but Trump fell into a very familiar pattern of controversial statements, insults, and attacks. Overnight, Donald Trump's bot returned to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election. The company saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence. It was reinstated by Elon Musk in November of 2022.
One of the funniest things that Elon Musk immediately did was call this a distributed denial of service attack, DDoS, like as in people were attacking his website. Except if you are actually victim to a DDoS attack, a couple things happen that did not happen in this situation. Other parts of the website would also shut down, okay? They didn't. The rest of the website, for better or for worse, was still working, okay? And not only that, but also you can track DDoS attacks. Like it's not untraceable. But Elon personally turned around and fucking went along with it. Then Verge and other outlets went and asked people on the engineering side at Twitter, and they were like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. He's likely lying about it. You're just making stuff up on DDoS, bro. If you actually think that this Twitter space got DDoSed, you are exactly the type of person. You are the reason why Elon Musk is like the #1 figure that crypto scammers use to dupe people. Which is ironic because that's precisely what they were doing yesterday as well. There were a million different YouTube links that was supposedly the Elon Musk Trump conversation. Some of them had 187,000 live concurrent viewers. Many of them are botted, but I do find it funny and rather strange that a lot of Elon's fan base are so primed into getting duped by cryptocurrency rug pulls. I wonder what that is about. Why are you cosplaying as an IT guy? You know nothing about DDoS attacks? I'm so confused as to why people are saying that I am wrong on this, okay? I know a thing or two about it from, being a Twitch streamer and having to deal with like an army of IT geeks who despise me and spend every waking moment trying to fuck with me online. It comes with the territory. It's one of those things that you kind of have to learn. And also, DDoS attacks are like not exactly the most complicated thing. Like we sometimes end up doing a DDoS organically on a website that doesn't have servers that are ready for the additional traffic. Like I sometimes will click on a website and it will go down, especially if it's like an older website and the servers are not like, the hug of death. Like, and the servers are not primed for like 30,000 psychos clicking at the same exact time. Lol, this is not a DDoS, it's just overloading. No, I know, but it's similar to how a distributed denial of service attack works. The only difference is you're intentionally trying to overload a server and brick it. You can target a service, whole Twitter doesn't have to go down. I think that's why they don't have to agree. They're not agreeing with it. The problem with Twitter and the problem with X spaces in general was that it just wasn't primed for it. That's it. And it's additionally ironic because he had done this already. He did this once. Well, not once, twice, but the second time it didn't matter because it didn't get that much traffic. But like he already did this with fucking Ron DeSantis and he bricked it. And then Donald Trump shit on him for it, which is why it's fucking hilarious that like he did not look back at it at all and be like, let's fix this so it never happens again. And he just went YOLO mode. Now, part of that is because Elon also eliminated a shit ton of the workforce. Not all the positions that he eliminated were like the queer Marxist brigade that is working on DEI or whatever. A big chunk of the people that he laid off and the only people that he kept on board were the H-1B visa workers that he could just basically fucking threaten with deportation. So they are way less likely to say no when he's like, you have to work overtime. Okay. He literally went in and was like, yeah, we're going to work on a skeleton budget, including people that work on, the back end. If you don't have a cloud infrastructure team who can immediately free up more resources on the network, you're boned. 99% of chance that Twitter already laid off those people. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, just get back to the video.
When Musk bought the company, Trump returning to the conversation Monday for a conversation with Musk. Technical issues delaying it from the start for more than 40 minutes. Musk blaming a so-called denial of service attack, a kind of cyber attack that floods a server with traffic to force it offline, saying the massive attack illustrates there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say, though he provided no evidence of such a cyber attack. Users getting messages like this saying details not available. Those who were able to get into the live stream welcomed by hold music, then silence. X saying more than 1 million people eventually signed on. Musk said he wanted Trump to reach open-minded independent voters, kicking off the conversation by asking Trump about the attempt on his life.
What was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I have to be honest. I said there was blood. I had more blood.
Bro, what's funny about this is that he didn't just want to talk about the assassination. He wanted to talk about DEI or deep state conspiracies. And Donald Trump was not about it at all. So he just kept egging him on and on and on. He just kept repeating it like, but it's crazy that, they shot you from that distance, right? I mean, it's like, why did they not have anyone there? Why did they not have anyone on that roof? What was going on? Two things were happening there that Elon Musk was not aware of. Number one, Donald Trump wants that to be a perfect shooter, okay? Because God saved his life. That's what he wants to present it as. That's what he believes. So he doesn't want this to be like a failure of all sorts or like a secret DEI initiative or whatever. So he's not going to sit there and be like, yeah, I can't believe the deep state is after me in this regard. And the other reason is that Donald Trump personally loves the Secret Service. He does. He thinks they saved his life because they did. So that's the reason why so many people kept talking about DEI, 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 except Donald Trump has not said that at all. So far, he has only said how awesome the Secret Service is. If you notice, he always talks about how great they are, how wonderful they are, how sick they are, okay? He's like one of the only people on the Republican side that hasn't been consistently shitting on the Secret Service because in his mind, he's like, they saved me. Push came to shove, and these motherfuckers saved my ass. I respect it. I love them. So he just didn't bite that at all.
I didn't know I had that much blood.
Over 2 hours, the former president drifted into bringing up false claims, insults, and controversial statements. Trump praising his relationships with authoritarian leaders, saying he got along well with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump also describing a conversation he had with Putin about invading Ukraine, claiming he told him not to invade.
That shit was kind of crazy, bro. He's like, he knew? What the fuck? He's like, yeah, Putin hit me up before invading Ukraine. And I was like, don't do it. I don't get it. It's kind of odd.
This is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states where states like Iowa, where states...
Bro, this is like literally Project 2025, by the way, which is why it's like hilarious that Donald Trump's like, I don't know what Project 2025 is. It's nerd shit. And that's precisely the reason why I told you guys time and time again that there is functionally no difference between the Republican Party and the Heritage Foundation, because the Heritage Foundation is the think tank that writes the Republican policies. And Project 2025 is not specifically about the upcoming Trump term, but a long-term commitment to abolishing the Department of Education, the EPA, all of these federal regulatory bodies. This is something that the Republican Party has been actively pushing towards. It's not new. It was Project 2024. It was Project 2023. It's also Project 2025. I know that a lot of people are primed towards Project 2025, and it's like a really great way to focus people's resentment and focus people's frustration towards one thing, but it's not new. It has been this has been in the works for a very long time. It's never stopped. And that is precisely the reason why Donald Trump saying, I want to abolish the Department of Education while simultaneously saying Project 2025 who is ridiculous. Okay. I had a tweet on this that was a hit tweet as well. And I'm shocked that the media is not covering it, but it blew my mind that this conversation, this part of the conversation started with Trump and Elon praising Sweden, Norway, and even China's education systems. Like, they literally started off by being like, Sweden, Norway, even China, their education is so much better, and then turned around and was like, and that's why we need to abolish the Department of Education and bring it back to the States. It is nutty, okay? Completely nutty. It is nonsensical. The idea that Donald Trump does not endorse the Heritage Foundation is so stupid. The idea that Donald Trump does not endorse Project 2025 is so stupid. You know, if you gotta be a real stupid sucker if you think that like this guy is not going to do all of those things.
Like Idaho, you know, not every state will do great.
The Harris campaign highlighting that clip on social media and responding to the interview saying Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year of 2024. The Harris campaign also accusing Trump of slurring his words. The former president brushing off dire warnings about the impact of climate change, saying rising sea levels will lead to, quote, more oceanfront property. And he promised the largest deportation in history, attacking Vice President Kamala Harris on the administration's handling of the border, calling migrants non-productive people.
That was another one that it made me lose my fucking mind. Like, it's one of those things that is just like, you say that shit immediately, I'm like, you are such a fucking freak, dude. That was another thing that really, really frustrated me. Having two billionaire fail sons talking about how the Guatemalan dude trekking for thousands of miles to come to work here for pennies on the dollar is actually unproductive. Like, that is, I don't even know what to say to that. You are so delusional, dude. You are such a fucking delusional piece of shit. Like, what are you talking about, man? That, I don't even think that reads like, I don't even think most normal Americans who might even be fucking racist themselves agree with that. You know what I mean? Rich parents and connections, right? And all these people are like, rich parents and connections, rich parents and connections. Yeah, dude. Yeah, just like me and Donald Trump, me and Elon Musk, we're all in the same category, just a couple billionaires, you know? It's just crazy because, like, on the one hand, they say they're unproductive. On the other hand, they say they stole our jobs. Like, it does not have to make sense because it is for the absolute dumbest people. This is not a coherent narrative. This is simply for the dumbest, most racist person, okay?